219! 219!
Forward Progress. A Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abeticola on 312 Sports.
We give you Forward Progress on 312 Sports. We talk Chicago Bears and NFL right here. That would be your first place Chicago Bears with a record of 7-3. They are climbing all of their phony baloney power rankings. I would say that if you are someone who likes to look at these wild and highly variable power rankings that are just people with thoughts on things, don't look at most of the ones at the bottom, because those are most of the teams the Bears have beaten.
Wait, which one did you see that you were looking at? I heard you comment out loud. Okay.
I don't know. There's one that had the Bears 10th overall, the 10th best team in the NFL, ahead of the Chiefs, ahead of the Ravens. And I don't know, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But if you just go near the bottom, it's like, oh, the Bears beat them, the Bears beat them, the Bears beat them.
Yeah, don't do that.
Right?
Looking at ESPN's power rankings, they have them 12th.
Okay.
Now, they're still ahead of the Chiefs and the Ravens, Chargers, and Steelers, but they're behind the Bucks at 10 and the Packers at 11.
I might debate the Packers. I think they're probably behind the Bucks. It just depends on do the Bucks have their guys? Because they're a different team, but they got their guys. We're brought to you by Beer Church Brewing, New Buffalo's brewery, pizzeria, in a historic church. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizza. Small batch craft beer, brunch every day. Visit beerchurchbrewing.com. Are you popping your jersey?
I was popping my jersey like the kids do.
Now, that's the hoodie, though. That's not the fishing shirt.
Yeah, this is the hoodie, not the fishing shirt. They didn't have my size. You need that.
I know. I need whatever fishing shirts they have. I need to make fishing shirts a bigger part of my wardrobe, like you did, because they're perfect.
That's all I have.
They're perfect, but I can't wear. They won't let me wear my actual fishing shirt out of the house if I'm not fishing. They won't let me.
You're a man. Damn it.
I'm a man.
Yeah.
But they're right.
You fathered children. You have one on the way.
I know.
You should be able to wear whatever you want.
I told you, they call it my MAGA shirt. Because it's.
Do you wear it when you go on ice raids?
That with my mask,
yeah,
with the sock over my face when I go on ice raids.
Well, it's not over your face,
but it's seriously. It's my fishing shirt is. It's a little ridiculous. It's huge sign on the back.
It's legit, like I'm a real fisherman shirt.
It says discount tackle on the back. It's got a Z-Man Lures logo here. Discount tackle on the front. You know, it looks like I would be fishing in like satellite level bass tours. But
mine are fishing shirts from Amazon. They're very comfortable.
Yeah,
That's why
I know.
like them.
I'm gonna get. Have you seen the ones that actually make you look like a fish?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't got there yet.
Just pick out your favorite species, and I will get you.
I had the one that it's orange, yellow, and white. Looks like a sunset, and that's the one where the commenter said I looked like I was on a parole hearing, like a video parole hearing.
Especially
because I had my White Sox hat on.
Yep. If you're like behind the glass, like Chris Cooper in The Town.
Yes, that was one of the best comments we've had. Asked if Maddie was going to his parole hearing on video this morning.
His white on White Sox hat.
As soon as the show was over, I had to go right to the
back to solitary, back to the can. He trading smokes for Pruno.
Yes. Oh man, those are the good old days.
Ben Johnson had stuff to say, and I think his messaging to the team is really important right now. We always go through what he says publicly. And I think you listen to what is said by his players to get a sense of what is being said to the team, because that's critical right now. How do you sell, hey, we're a first-place team. It's working. Listening to me is working. With, we're not good yet. And you got to do a better job doing the things I want you to do. All of you jamokes. How do you do both things at the same time? That's the coach's job.
Yeah, it is. And I think the players are smart enough and are veteran enough to realize that they know who they are. I think they're enjoying the fact that they're 7-3. They're in first place in the NFC North right now. But they also realize how they've gotten there and that they can play much better. They all know that. They're all saying that. And I think how Ben Johnson handles it is the right way. He talks about one game at a time. It's this week we need to get to 1-0. And then big picture, they evaluate the quarters. He was asked about it. No, he was asked about talking in the playoffs.
But when you say the players know, they also know the percentage of their playoff possibilities, and they know the other games on the schedule. You can't ask professional players to put blinders on like you want them to have.
No, you can't, but you can help with your messaging by not doing that yourself, which he doesn't do. He doesn't talk about the playoffs. He doesn't even look at it. He said he would consider, or that he would start looking at it in the fourth quarter, depending on how the third quarter ends up. For him, he's right in the heart of the third quarter, and all he cares about is the Steelers and going 1-0 this week.
Yeah, I kind of used to make fun of Lovie Smith and the whole quarters thing, but now it's just every coach does it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you have to do it.
Every coach does it. Look, it happens. Businesses look at fiscal quarters, right?
Yeah.
We're in Q1, we're in Q2, we're in Q3. Let's not worry about Q4 right now. We got to make our quarterly budget. Let's be concerned with that. Obviously, you want stuff on the books if you can get it, but this is what we're concentrating on right now.
Yeah, I mean, because you could have a great first quarter, and then you could have a shitty second and third quarter, and then your fourth quarter is very different. You could have a bad first quarter, pick up in the second and third, and then your fourth is like, all right, here's where we're at. Let's evaluate it. That's what he does. That's where he's at. I think that's the right way to approach it. But you're right. The players know what their chances are. The players know what their schedule is. They know how they're playing and how they're winning games, and that maybe they have some wins that are because they've played some bad teams, but that's okay, and they shouldn't apologize for it. And
no, that is their identity.
It's a W, yeah, and that's they're winning football games ugly.
No apologies. This is the no apologies tour, is what it should be. Like that's their identity. Is they'll find a way to win. They don't care who they're playing. They don't care what you say about who they're playing, and that's fun. That's cool. Enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's some questions for Ben Johnson. Some audio cuts from Ben yesterday, meeting the media virtually like he does on Mondays to review the game. Today's Tuesday, right? It is Tuesday? Today's Tuesday?
Correct.
Yesterday was Monday?
Correct.
All day?
Correct.
All right, so this first one, we got a couple questions here from Pat Finley.
Hey, Ben, this isn't my official question, but have you ever been blitzed on 2/3 of your passes before?
That's a good question, and I don't know. I don't know that. That was the interesting thing was not just the percentage, because it was completely different than week one, kind of like we alluded about, but also the type of pressures that he was bringing was a lot of corner cat, which he hadn't shown a ton of. So, I thought we recognized it fairly early, and we did the best we could as a staff and as players to make our adjustments to it.
And he didn't turn the ball over. He was only sacked twice. But would you like to see Caleb kind of burn them once or twice and catching them in that blitz? And what did he do yesterday that kind of can apply when you're playing a team that's not going to blitz you 2/3?
Well, the best thing he did, like you just said, Pat, was he kept the ball out of harm's way. He did a great job protecting that football. I can't say enough good things about their defense in terms of how they create turnovers. I mean, they all these forced fumbles, it's by design. It's very deliberate by them. I thought our whole crew did a great job taking care of that football. And then Caleb in particular did a good job throwing the ball away when things weren't present. And so that was good to see. I would agree with you. We sat and we watched the tape, and we had a couple opportunities there to really get some big plays potentially down the field, and we didn't capitalize on those. Those are a couple that he'd like to have back, but I thought all in all, he played a pretty solid football game.
I know which plays he's talking about. Obviously, the 3rd and 9 overthrow to Roma Dunze in the first quarter, and the overthrow of DJ Moore, the hole shot, I believe it was, also in the first quarter. Just get it there.
Yeah.
At least give your guy a chance to make a play.
No, that's correct. Those were exactly the two plays he was talking about with Caleb and went over. The Rome one, he kind of pulled back a little bit on it. It's the DJ Moore one that I think he was really disappointed in, and that really stressed, and probably watched it over and over and over and looked at Caleb and evaluated his footwork and how he missed the throw. And that's the one that could have hit big. And if you hit that on your second drive, that's a significant change.
Different game.
In that game for sure.
And maybe they rethink the amount of blitzing that he was asked about.
And it was about 70% of the snaps they blitzed, which was very different from the first game they played. So, I said yesterday I was really curious to hear how he would evaluate Caleb's game. And that's there was another cut that we'll play where he talks about Caleb's game. He wasn't really asked about it yesterday that, hey, Coach, now you've had a chance to review the film. What did you think of Caleb's game? So in hearing him at the end there, he says he played a pretty solid game. Now, statistically, he didn't play a very good game. There was a couple misses that were pretty big. But overall, given the context of that game, he thought he played rather well. And throwing those balls away, it was what was called for, and escaping the sacks, only getting sacked twice. He, again, did, I think one play he got folded in half, came out of the pocket. I don't know how he managed that one. But,
and bedeviled by drops still.
Yeah, still. So overall, he calls it a solid game. I would say it was a decent game that he didn't hurt the team in a 2-point game.
Did he evaluate Tyson Bagent in his 2 plays as a wide receiver?
He did not. At least he wasn't asked about it.
Some of the stuff matters, though, when you look at any contract incentives guys have in games played.
Yeah.
Like sometimes if you do have, and depending on the deal you've made with an agent, and I don't know that it's in the contract, or it depends on the relationship you may have, but if a guy does have a, I don't know, $500,000 or maybe less, maybe more,
yeah,
that those things matter.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
And
sure.
I remember there was an end of I think it was Steve Walsh that had something like that where he was 1 game short of a major games played escalator. And they used him as either it was a holder or something like that, where they definitely got him to take care of him in that regard. And that's just a cool thing that teams know. And sometimes that you make a reputation as an organization for being aware of that, and instead of suppressing it, trying to optimize it and trying to give guys those chances to do that. So I wonder if Bagent has something in his deal for games played in a given season.
All right, Ben was asked about Cole Kmet, and then he goes into and talks more about Caleb Williams and his game as well.
We came into this game wanting to be very completion driven, and yet when you look at the stat sheet, we weren't as high completion percentage as we would like to be, or as efficient. And I think there's a number of reasons for that, but I do think that was him getting quickly to Cole was what we wanted to see this game. That was by design. I thought he had one early on where, we got some play actions going on, down the field type throws, and it's not there, and he's quick to throw him a good runner's ball on the sideline. It happened to be on the Vikings sideline that he caught it, and he turned it into a 6-7 yard gain. But ball location is paramount when he does that. A couple of those hurry-up plays, it's same thing. They're bringing the corner pressures, and so they're leaving the flats unattended to, and he's recognizing that quickly and getting the ball out and allowing Cole to run with it. And I thought Cole played one of his best games he has so far this year. And he caught a couple more balls, but I'm not even talking about that. He's great in the running game. And then pass pro, we put him in some tough matchups there on some of their defensive end or outside linebacker types. And I thought he did an outstanding job throughout that. And then when he was a ball carrier, you felt his presence out there. He was lowering his shoulder. He was stiff arming. He brought our sideline to life a couple of times.
Good stuff.
Yeah. What was the first position I singled out in the post game?
It was tight end. Yeah, both guys. And if you remember there early in that cut, he talks about Caleb Williams, and he says the completion percentage wasn't what we wanted, and the efficiency wasn't there either. Then you go back to what he said, that he had a solid game, played a solid game, but the completion percentage wasn't there. The efficiency wasn't there either. So to me, I read that as in what the game dictated. You look at the overall game start to finish, how Caleb played. This was an opportunity for a younger quarterback to make mistakes, to hurt your game and to hurt your team. By avoiding that and not hurting the team, keeping control of the ball, not having any turnovers, luckily Rome was able to cover up that one fumble. He played a good game in the coach's eyes, that he didn't hurt the team, given what Brian Flores did on defense. I mean, 70% of the snaps, you have blitzes coming, and there was no turnovers, no interceptions, yet the completion percentage wasn't there like we want it to be, nor was the efficiency, but still played a solid game. Let
me ask you this. When he gave us the insight in that answer, before he talked about the completion percentage, he said the plan in this game was to be completion driven. He said, and I wrote it down, the game plan was completion driven. What do you hear? What does that mean to you? Does that mean we know they're blitzing, we want to get it out and get it in someone else's hands quickly? Or does it have to do with pacing? Does it have to do with tempo? I'm just curious, what is it about the game plan? Did you think that maybe a sequence of quicker completions would change the blitz posture of the opponent?
Well, I think it was for this game, he was talking about getting the ball out of your hands quickly and utilizing the green grass and the flats. And I think that's when they did. And I remember I mentioned it yesterday. A lot of times they were bringing up a defensive back on the weak side to interrupt and dent the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
That was their plan. So I don't know if they recognized that prior to the game or realized it as the game was happening. And what they wanted to do was get Cole out in the flat more, get the ball out quick. I think it was just for this specific game. They wanted to be completion driven, get the ball out of your hands, get it in the flats, and go against what the defense was trying to do.
Yeah, I just found it interesting that and even though he wanted it completion driven, it didn't stop them from taking riskier shots early.
No. Yeah, and it was interesting because I questioned it both times on the 3rd and 8 and the 3rd and 9 when they went deep. I'm like, let's get some yards. Let's get some yards. Let's get more manageable instead of throwing those deep balls. Now, they were there. It's just he has the accuracy issue going deep.
Yeah, it's so funny how I think about it differently now that I know we talk about crucial third down, every third down, crucial. When you're in between the 40s now, when you're outside your own 40,
yeah,
I don't think of every third because I think, you know what, if you can get a fourth and manageable, it's just different. It's the culture of the league. Hell, it sure didn't bother Dan Campbell that they kept getting stopped on 4th down. They go for it when they have a chance, depending on where they are. But I think of those. I don't look at all of these third downs as, well, they're just behind it now, and oh my God, what's going to happen? Because if you can get it to 4th and 2,
yeah, no,
okay.
it's a different game now.
It really is. I just think about it differently
now. That 3rd and 8 and the 3rd and 9, those plays were there to hit. He just didn't hit them. And my mindset is, yeah, let's get 6 or 7 and let's get 4th and 2, 4th and 3 and still go for it. But I think Ben liked it in the fact that he recognized what was there. And that's what's valuable. That's the growing step that Caleb needs to take. That he recognized, yeah, it's a 3rd and 9 and there might be some shorter routes to make a more manageable 4th down, but he saw the play open. And the DJ one in particular, because he made a really nice, he faked left, went right, and he was wide open for a better throw, gets that first down easy and then some, and you break a tackle, it's a possible take it to the house. Mm-hmm. But I think it's valuable that Caleb at least recognized it there, and we just need to complete the step with a better throw.
What else do you have to say?
All right, he was asked about the running backs. This is our guy Herb.
Coach, with your running backs, are you at a situation now where you feel like you have 2 guys equally capable of running everything in your playbook and you and EB are just kind of rolling with the hot hand, or is there a different method to how you guys are divvying up the game reps?
Yeah, I think we're very comfortable with both those guys right now. I think both of them have proven that they're very capable with the ball in their hands. They're very dependable in pass protection. You know, minus the holding call by Swift early on in that game, I thought he did a great job stepping up in the A and B gaps and trying to form that wall with the offensive line. That team that we just played, they stress you. They stress the interior protection with all the A and B gap run-throughs that they try to create. And both of our backs did a nice job stepping up to the plate and trying to shut that down. So, yeah, to your point, Herb, I got a lot of confidence in those guys. And it might be series by series. It might be hot hand. You know, we kind of go based on what we see in practice a lot of the time too. But I feel really good about both those guys.
So you asked about that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is he dictating who gets the ball, when they get the ball? Get a little answer there for you. So if it's series by series, if it's the guy with the hot hand, if it's the practice, which, you know, I like more evaluation on game day to see who's being more effective at that moment than, you know, what was taking place in practice.
Well, there's no question. Swift is faster.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. And he's running a lot harder these last few games than he certainly did the first few games. And I know that goes into part with the offensive line as well, too.
Yeah, it's not only that. Like I especially am thinking about that 4th down run of the Giants game.
Oh, yeah, that was beauty.
Yeah, that's something that your
drop two guys and
your teammates see it. The sideline reaction and everybody goes crazy. That stuff is noticeable because the offensive line didn't give him any help on that one, and you're running through contact already in your own backfield to pick up a critical first down. Like that gets noticed, and I certainly did. But Swift is more explosive. Swift is more of a dangerous runner, but it's nice to know that at least you can trust Monungai, that even though he's had a couple of negative plays, but it's pretty hard to bring him down on first contact. I usually trust that he's going to move the ball forward.
All right, last question for Ben Johnson was about evaluating himself as a head coach and how he's grown throughout this year.
I like to think that I'm constantly getting better. I have a better feel for our guys, their personalities. I like to think we're growing closer as a team. Not just amongst the players, but with the coaching staff as well. I think the coaching staff certainly understands what I'm expecting more as we continue to go on through this season. And so I really think we're getting better. It's more efficient. We're able to get the players out of the building a little bit earlier in the day because we're getting the work done in a better fashion. And so, I don't really self-reflect at this point. Maybe that's something I can do when the season's over, but it's just trying to provide what our team needs to win the next ball game.
Yeah, okay. And I think that's the approach he takes in his messaging to the team.
Yeah, I don't think he spends too much time self-evaluating. He's too busy.
Seems that way.
Yeah, I think there's a time and a place for it, but I don't want him in his own head right now too much.
But he certainly has gotten better as a head coach as the season has gone on. As far as running a show on Sunday, he certainly has gotten better. One highlight I wanted to bring up too, when when Ben was asked about the end zone pass to Colston Loveland that was kind of thrown 4 or 5 yards out of bounds, really didn't have a play. Mm-hmm. He took the blame for that and said it was a bad play call, and Caleb needed to bail out of that bad play call sooner, which he didn't. He still ran the call. So again, that just goes to Caleb learning to read the defense and read what's available. And this play's not going to work. I need to get out of that play and change it to be a little more efficient in the red zone, which is really hard to do for any quarterback and certainly harder to do for a younger quarterback like Caleb.
Yeah, but also admitting that and also saying, look, I'm not going to be perfect either.
Yeah.
And there's going to be times where you're the guy in the field and you're going to see things I don't see, or you're going to recognize bad fit.
But it's nice to hear that, though, from the head coach, because we would have heard in the last couple of years, it was like, no, that's the right call, and I definitely would have done it again. Really?
Just don't compare him to that guy.
Oh, no, and it's good to hear, because you know what? It's not even just Eberflus. There's a lot of ego in coaching, and I get it, but to have a guy say, yeah, I made a bad call, or I would do it differently, it's good to hear. It's nice to hear because, again, he's seeing the same things that we're seeing.
I want to talk about the latest that we're hearing about Sunday and what we're hearing about the possible participation of Aaron Rodgers, who does have a broken left wrist, and what they're trying to do and what the possibilities for which they're allowing. And I don't want to go through what we went through with Lamar Jackson, where it ends up being like they know that he's not playing, and it's all just a smokescreen to take up the Bears' preparation time. And that's possible. Keep in mind, everything that we're hearing from Pittsburgh could be just that. They could know that he's out for 3 weeks. They might have been told that, like, don't play him. And so I'm not sure what to believe and what not to. All I'm going to give you is exactly what is being said. And this is Brooke Pryor, who is one of the Pittsburgh reporters, who says Mike Tomlin says he hasn't had a conversation with doctors to officially clear Aaron Rodgers to play. He says the doctors are looking at devices for his wrist. Reiterates it's about functionality, among other factors. Rodgers will have something to say in determining his own availability. They are looking at devices for his wrist.
Yeah, and people that cover the Steelers are saying that Aaron Rodgers says he wants to play. He wants to give it a go. There's even, if you read between the lines, it's the excitement of playing the Bears at Soldier Field is what's motivating him to want to be out there. Great.
Okay.
Let's do it. Now, they're going to have to learn and see if he can get under center and secure the snap. I mean, it is his non-throwing hand, but that's your base hand in taking the snap under center. And if you can't have a good grip there with some strength and some control, that's not going to work.
The reason why I'm smiling is when they're saying here they're looking at devices for his wrist. I'm picturing the perfunctory scene in every James Bond movie where it's basically there should be a flashing sign, foreshadowing, Chekhov's rule, where Q, who was played famously by Desmond Llewellyn. I know he's been played by others since, but the Agent Q, which stood for quartermaster, they'd be at like the headquarters. And James, while this may look like an ordinary pen, what it is a specialized laser beam. Or he'd say, like, this looks like a cigarette holder, but instead it is a camera and a breathing apparatus. And it's like, gee, what are the chances this is somehow used before the end of the movie?
Right.
And you see that scene, and then all you do is you have this mental checklist of use the pen, use the cigarette case to do your breathing thing.
Right.
Because they're just telling you what's coming. So, Aaron, these are the devices that we have. This one will produce an oil slick that keeps Montez Sweat from finding purchase with his feet.
Right. Sitting on top of your head.
Right, and sitting on your head and banging it up and down in the turf.
Which would be fine with that.
Oh, that would be awesome.
So, yeah, all the reports are that he wants to play and they need to figure out if he can play. So, again, he has not officially been cleared by doctors to play. So we'll see what happens. But no surgery needed. Clearly, the guy can take enough pain meds to play through it. I saw it firsthand in Lambeau. Khalil Mack's first game as a Chicago Bear, when he left the game and came out at halftime and his eyes were glassed over. He was so doped up, but then threw 2 or 3 touchdowns in the second half to beat the Bears.
I was there at Lambeau when they said that Brett Favre is not playing. He's not playing. His sprained ankle, he's not playing. And then
walked out pantsless with orange Crocs.
Essentially right before the game, there he was, and he came running out. God, who was the name of the guy they were going to start? Craig Nall, or one of the. They had a bunch of losers and ne'er-do-wells behind him.
Yeah,
but yeah, and he came running away. Wow, Favre looks like a new man. Yep, he kind of was. And God, they're looking at the Bears sideline. They're all just like,
yeah. And in the reports we were reading too, they said pain tolerance not an issue. Well, of course, it's not. It's not going to be an issue. It's just if he can control the ball, take the ball from under center, he can throw fine.
It's not really pain tolerance. It's taking away the pain.
The pain maintenance, sure.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's some discomfort still that goes with it, playing a football game, even with all the meds in the world. It's still not going to feel great, so we'll see what he can do.
God, I'm trying to remember. TJ Rubley, that's who the backup was. It wasn't Craig Nall at that point. Do you remember that name? It was. They were going.
No, I'm glad I don't.
They were going to face Theron Joseph Rubley on that day. He was on the Packers in '95. It was his only year on the Packers. He'd been with the Rams, the Packers, Broncos.
Oh, he was a Canadian football guy,
Eagles,
too.
Broncos, Ryan Fire, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Yeah.
Yes. He was at the University of Tulsa. They were going to start TJ Rubley, but Favre ran out there. At least their backup now is a career backup guy. Like Mason Rudolph would be perfect in that commercial for Progressive backup something.
Oh, yeah. That's the one that Mitch does the drive-through ordering.
Who did they have just come in and give the backup sex talk?
Wasn't it Tyler Huntley?
It was Tyler Huntley.
Yes.
It was because Jacoby Brissett was the tax attorney or like accountant.
Yeah.
I like those. But
they're good. Tyler Huntley comes in to have the sex talk with the middle school age kid.
See, but there's so many ways that could end like way funnier.
Yeah,
where the kid's just like shell shocked. It's like, I don't know,
because he really gets into it.
Right. It's like now you really want to win a title. Here's what you do.
Yeah, I like though that it's
okay, kid? No.
Hey, we have this commercial where there's a kid's having a sex talk with his dad. All right, who should we pick for that? We got Mitch Trubisky. No, not Mitch. Mitch can do the ordering the food one. He can order the burgers.
Yeah, but if you look through Mitch's Twitter, he's got some suggestions. Remember?
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Don't you remember
I don't.
his youthful Twitter that everybody was mining right after he was drafted?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thing of what he likes
before his
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's not wrong.
No.
He's definitely not wrong. I mean, a kid's got to know that too.
That's funny.
But yeah, there's some ways that could be parodied that could be really, really awesome.
So just to put a bow on it too, we I'll just say it on Forward Progress. We want Aaron Rodgers Sunday.
Yeah.
We want Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen to close the books.
If we're gonna
on
have
Aaron
some
Rodgers
closure,
at Soldier Field,
yeah, and have him just lying there,
right,
and then carried off like at the what was his Maximus
yeah,
at the end of
at
Gladiator.
the very end of Gladiator. No, I want him to walk off the field,
carried off
to
like Commodus instead of Maximus.
all the chants from the Chicago Bears fans.
We own you.
Yes,
we own you.
Can you close the book on it? Turn the page and move forward.
I actually want him, if he is
we
carried
need
off.
Forward progress on Aaron Rodgers.
If he is carried off, not stretchered off, he has to be like he's been picked up by cannibals and they have him on a wooden branch.
like a fire pit.
No, yeah, like he's going to be turned on the spit, like with his wrists are bound and his ankles are bound and he's hanging on the spit as if he's to be placed over the fire.
I would like a guy on a horse to ride into the field and just drape him over the back of the horse and just ride off with him.
Or drag him off?
No, not drag him.
Okay.
No, we don't want to
You don't wanna
drag him.
drag him?
I respect him enough as a football player.
How
but
about this? We put him on the gurney and then tie him to the horse.
Oh, then he gets pulled on the gurney by the gurney.
Like the Sooner schooner. You know, like the Oklahoma thing that they come out there and occasionally it tips over and everybody goes, that was silly.
We could do that.
Yeah, just do that. Tie the gurney to a horse and then hit the horse in the ass and have it run away with the gurney somewhere. Wherever it ends up, it ends up.
All right, couple minor NFL notes. Jamar Chase has been suspended by the league for one game for spitting on a defensive player.
Yeah, bad.
Spit on
Don't do
Jalen
that.
Ramsey.
Not good.
So he'll miss the Week 12 game against the Patriots. The Patriots currently first place in the AFC East at, I think they're 9-2. 9-2. So it was during the fourth quarter of the Steelers game. I almost said Pirates. He spit on Jalen Ramsey. Why are we spitting on people? Like Jalen Carter did it earlier in the year. Like
Every spitting incident has to have a Jalen.
Like just stop spitting. Yeah, there's one. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Either doing it or being spit on. Like stop spitting on people. Stop spitting on people and stop punching other guys in football helmets. Just stop.
He's wearing a helmet.
Yeah, just stop punching him.
Yeah, if they wore
You're gonna hurt your hand.
if they wore football helmets in boxing, guys wouldn't punch the other guy in the head
Right.
all that often.
Now, if it was the old leather helmets where there's nothing covering their face, sure, have at it. Go
Right.
punch him. But he's protected. Stop hurting your hands.
Yeah, definitely. And even if it's a Guardian cap, where it wouldn't hurt your hand quite as much, but there's still a helmet underneath the Guardian cap, that's a problem.
See,
too.
that's Jason's next thing. On a Friday night at school, after some beers, get the cheapest beers you can, put the Guardian caps on, and say, punch me in the face. I got a helmet on.
Well, I was thinking this morning he was going to wake up all covered in sequins or something. Because Kim Mulkey winked at him last night in the post game.
Oh, well, he's got the hair.
Because apparently she was running up the score and called a play when they were up 30, and he texts me and he's like, "This is Bush League. Why is she doing this?" I said, "Ask her."
Yeah.
You have a press pass. You're going to be in the post game. Don't ask me. I'm sitting on my ass eating Domino's pizza. Ask her. And he did. And she said, "I'm not going to tell you the answer. I had a reason for doing it, and I know why I did it, and I'm not going to tell you why I did it." And then she winked at him. And it was kind of weird. So I'm thinking, I was calling him this morning, like, did you get Kim Mulkey out of your dorm room?
Yeah, as I say, did she...
Yeah, she's divorced. She's
Was it a
available.
road game, or did she come by his place?
It was a road game. It was a road game for them.
Yeah.
But
Well, for her, though, what was it?
I don't know. It just, if she sort of, if he like I say, if he's covered in like glitter and rhinestones, where were you? I don't know what
God,
happened.
can you imagine if your son started dating her?
Oh God.
Huh?
What is she? 63?
Yeah, that'd be great,
Well,
though.
the money.
Bring her home for the holidays. Mom, Dad, this is my girlfriend.
This is my girlfriend Kim. Don't talk to her. She's not very nice.
She doesn't like people. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So what are you guys talking about? We don't talk, Mom.
Don't bring up anything.
Oh, boy.
Because she's really not that nice. Yeah, well, I mean, seriously, I mean, you want to ask her? Ask her. It's perfectly good. Nobody else asked her. I thought it was a great question. Why are you running up the score up 30?
No, it was good. And then the player that was next to her, too, smiled and laughed.
Because she was trying to make a joke. Well, she needed another shooting attempt or something like that. No, we'll get to that on Organizations Win Championships, talking Bulls today, and I'll make fun of him if he hasn't suffered another concussion in the meantime.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay.
Playing video games.
You never know, Dan.
It's bad for you. I know.
Never know.
Let me ask you this, too. The Bears are leading the NFL with 16 turnovers caused. You can call them takeaways if you want. They're not called takeaways in the official stats. They're called turnovers. Teams love to call them takeaways because it gives them agency.
Mm-hmm.
They can say, we did this. We weren't just sort of there when something happened. I want to make sure that a team like the Bears can be proud of what they've achieved and not try too hard to get turnovers, if you catch my drift on this, that turnovers come out of disciplined defense. They come out of being where you're supposed to be. They come out of the reading your keys, diagnosing, being smart, and being aware. When a team is trying too hard to get them is when you have breakdowns. And when you have missed tackles, and when you have gambling on routes,
right,
and helping where you shouldn't be helping, leaving your guy when you shouldn't. And I just want to make sure that it's being reinforced that, yes, we get takeaways, but the reason we get it is because we're all doing our jobs and playing really hard. It's not because we're taking shortcuts, or not because we're thinking about always, rake the ball or jump this route. It has to be reinforced that this is because we're, as a defense, everybody is disciplined and physical and smart, and that's where the takeaways come from.
Yeah, and that's a byproduct of good coaching and good game planning and good preparation, knowing what your opponent's going to do. That's a great byproduct of that. Now, a defensive coordinator, a head coach, isn't going to give a ball back when a guy breaks discipline or isn't in his assignment, but that's, you better believe that'll be talked about, coached about. Yeah, it was a successful outcome.
Great
but
job.
Not
Don't
what we do. Yeah, great job. Don't do it again.
Nice catch, Hayes.
Right.
Don't ever fucking do it again.
Right. Exactly. That's how it works. But there are certain things though that you can coach up and become part of the discipline. Like the tackling and the peanut punch. Mm-hmm. Making it that, hey, we can wrap and punch at the same time, but you got to wrap. Yes, you got to wrap, and that's done through coaching and repetition.
That's why I brought it up. That I don't doubt that the Bears are aware of that. Yeah. That you can get a team that gets turnover happy and gets out of position and gets burned. Because it should be, say, yes, we're causing turnovers, we are, or getting takeaways, however you want to phrase it. But use the term byproduct.
Yep.
It's a function of intelligent, disciplined, physical defense.
Right, because the point is, stay between the offensive player and the ball, make sure they don't catch it or whatever the situation might be. But if it just so happens that you get the ball, like Nashawn Wright's interception in the end zone. That was great coverage. And it was a fairly decent throw, a couple inches higher. It's probably a touchdown. But he made a hell of a play while staying disciplined in his assignment of covering that receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't come off somebody else and run over. It's sort of like the way you talk about defense in basketball, about jumping passing lanes.
Yeah.
And, you don't necessarily come off your guy to block a shot. The best shot block is you've got verticality, you're staying disciplined, you went straight up, you blocked your own guy's shot and kept it in play. There are ways to do all this stuff that you want to do and have the same outcomes, but you're not necessarily trying to do it. Or like in baseball, where they always used to say, well, I'm not trying to hit home runs.
Well, you are.
Of course. Well, now, now they admit.
Unless you're John Smoltz.
Now they admit they're, well, right. So they'll say, well, he's not trying to hit a home run here. Yes, he is. Stop saying that. Of course he's trying to hit a home run. He's swinging as hard as he can. He's swinging early. He's trying to yank it over the fence because it's worth a run. Don't get me. Just don't
mean to send you back in that area.
Please don't push that button, and I don't want to go there. But it's great that the Bears have done it. I just want it to be reinforced how and why these seasons happen this way, and how you can be you can happen to get turnovers because you're good at defense. And the problem is the Bears aren't that good at defense.
They're really good in the areas that are important, which is why they're 7-3.
So
but
far.
overall, they're not very good on defense.
Right. They're going to need to be a lot better against this team.
Contrarian stats looking at this team, it's really remarkable, which is also why their percentage for playoff hopes with 7 games to go isn't as high as you think it would be, being the 3 seed currently in the NFC, because they give up a lot of yards on the run. They give up a lot of yards passing, yet they're very good on third down efficiency. They're great in the in red zone defense in giving up touchdowns. But those other things don't match with that. But that's why they're good right now. It's really interesting season seeing what's happening with Dennis Allen, Ben Johnson, and this Chicago Bears team.
And that's Forward Progress. Today, we are brought to you by our friends at Beer Church here on 312 Sports. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you like and rate and all the things. And remember that we're always on immediately after the game, as we will be after this noon start at Soldier Field. Weather's supposed to be gorgeous, by the way. 54 degrees and no wind. So no precipitation as of right now in the forecast, so it looks like that is not going to be an issue. And it's going to be Bears and Steelers. First place Bears and Steelers, and we'll continue to talk about it throughout the week on Forward Progress.
10, 219, 219.
Forward Progress, a Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abaticola on 312 Sports.